conservation. So we've got Dr. Purnima Devi Barman joining us. She is globally known as the Stork Sister. She's a conservation biologist from Assam, India. She is the founder of an all-rural women army group called Hegala Army, with 400 leaders comprising 10,000 women members in villages in Assam. Purnima is the recipient of the Whitley Award. This was in 2017. If you don't know what that is, think of it as like the Green Oscar for amazing work in conservation. And she earned this for her crusading conservation movement to protect the highly endangered greater adjutant stork, locally known as the Hegala. So I'm going to bring Purnima in with us now. Hey, Purnima, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Hi, Joe. How are you?
Good. It's so great to see you. I feel like just hours ago we were testing online.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So
All right.
I was really worried about the connection, but it's fine now. I'm really very happy. Thank you.
All right. Well, Purnima, we're happy to have you joining us, and we're more than excited to learn about your story and the work that you're doing. So I'm going to let you take over for a bit.
Yeah. Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Yeah. So So I can share my screen, right?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay. Thank you.
So for those who are tuning in, this may just take a moment because the connection's a little bit slower, but we'll get connecting. We'll get it up.
Can you see my screen?
All right, I see it.
Oh, that's great. Okay, I was really worried about the connection, but finally, yeah, I'm into this. And thank you so much, Joe, for this wonderful opportunity. I'm very blessed and privileged to be here. And thank you so much for connecting me with so many women. And I was very inspired by Kim, and yeah, really hats off to her. And yeah, today I'm from Assam, and as you have, thank you so much for your introduction, kind introduction. And I am from Assam, from India. It is Assam is from northeastern part of India. And today I would like to share my entire journey within this 25 minutes of time, how we are working in Assam to save this bird called Hargila, greater adjutant stork, and locally called as Hargila bird. And before that, I must have to share share one story. 12 years ago, actually, how I came, into this conservation effort. So I want to share with all of you. So actually, 12 years ago, I went to a village to do my PhD. I was very desperate to do my PhD on this bird. Everyone is only of means common people, policy makers are obsessed with only the mega species, charismatic species. So I wanted to do my PhD on this bird after my masters, and and yeah, and trust me, I didn't know beyond PhD. I thought that PhD would be the ultimate, and I was very desperate to be an academician. So that was my dream. So, but everything changed in my life through an incident. I landed in a village called Dodora village in Kamrup district of Assam, and I had a life-changing encounter with a woodcutter, a person who had cut down his own tree which had 9 nests. I'd like to show some kind of visuals like this was a huge tree which we call as kadam tree, Anthocephalus kadamba. This had 9 nests, 9 baby birds, and he cut down the trees, and a few six died, a few six were alive. When I was there, I was so embarrassed, and trust me, I was a I was an introvert and I didn't know how to speak much, but I dared to speak to the person why he had done so. And I think I was a very bad communicator, and he was reacting on me like anything. He was yelling at me, and his neighbors joined him, and they surrounded me and started clapping at me, teasing me, mocking me, and they said that the tree, that the person who had cut down the tree, he said that this bird is a bad omen. Don't you know this bird is a bad omen, and you are expecting me to keep this in my backyard? This is a bad omen. This doesn't need to live, and so why don't you take it to your home? It is a duty of forest department. Why should I bother about that? And they surrounded me, and then I was really very embarrassed, and I asked them, requested them, please help me because I want to rescue those birds with all of your help. And then they started mocking me that oh, this lady would eat, actually this lady would eat this meat of this hargila bird on the way, so it might be very tasty or delicious, something like that. I was just listening and listening, and then when I was coming on that day back to my home, I became restless. I Something happened inside me, and I realized that what is the value of my education? What I am going to do by doing this PhD research if I couldn't even motivate those people? And I something changes happened, and I just decided to stop my PhD, delay my PhD, and I decided that one day if I would be able to rope in these people, then only I'll start my PhD again. So it is important to bring the birds into the habitat and minds of the people rather than my thesis. So with this view, with this determination, the very next day, early morning at 6 a.m., I reached to the village again, and I started meeting people. And trust me, since that day, I have been working with more than 10,000 families in the village. I wanted to be an academician, but now I am very proud myself to be introduced as a community member, as just a layman community member. So thank you so much for listening to my story. And today I'd like to I'd like to mention how we came to the next step, and so far what are the challenges. And this is a summary kind of slide. Like, I want to share that Hargila is an endangered bird according to IUCN Red List, and they are technically more endangered than rhinos, tigers, and elephants. So we need to do a lot for the lesser known species also. And the global population is around less than 1,200 birds. Habitat loss, poaching, and poisoning are the major threats. And the bird is treated as disease-carrying pest, bad omen, or unhygienic bird. That is the hugest part of the conflict. So, and here you can see the picture, and this picture tells the entire story of the conflict and of the threats. Actually, this you can see that the how close the hargila bird build nest, and as I have mentioned that they are treated as bad omen or disease carrying pest or a scavenger bird. Hargila itself, Hargila is a local name of greater adjutant stork. Hargila itself means, it is a combination of two words, har plus gila, means bone swallowers. So they are not welcome much. So so people hated them, and then once the birds come to a tree for nesting, the tree become vulnerable. People just try to get rid of the bird. And yeah, so and I might have to mention here about the incident when I met that those people, those tree owner who had cut down the tree 12 years ago. That incident I'm sharing with you. Actually, I must admit that it is not at all fault of them. They are not aware. Actually, there is no awareness about the wildlife conservation or importance of the bird, so we can't blame them. And it was, I think they were I think they were in their place, and they were just sharing what they feel. So it is, I think, our duty to rope in and work with them and spread the message of conservation and build ownership. And so we started doing a pre-campaign survey why people cut down the tree, and we found some results that, as I have already mentioned, that they treated them as meshy, smelly birds, and the nest fallen sticks was a big headache for them, because more than 45% six baby birds, where you can see some birds, right? These are the baby birds. Actually, they look like adults. So these birds, more than 45% birds fall down, and either they die or directly die after falling down from the nest, or if not attended also, sometimes they die. So and it we found that it was like, every year we found this mortality. And when these are not attended, or when sometimes they can't come to know also when these birds are die in the nest, then people become annoyed of them, and they just cut down the tree because of the smell and all. So we just developed a PR campaign, and started a conservation project in the villages in Assam. And yeah, we started with a determination that one day we would bring the birds into the tradition and cultures of the people. And with this determination, we started our campaign with different target groups. And then we started motivating the tree owners, making friendship with them, understanding their concerns, which was so important. And when we work with communities or for a conservation project, being consistent or persistent is so important. And then we started doing lots of awareness, a restless campaign, like 24, it is our 24 hour job. We did a restless awareness campaign in the village in Assam, so that people, so that it hit people's mind, policymakers mind all the time, how important it is to save Hargila bird. And then we formed, and slowly throughout, during our work, we gave birth to a all women Hargila army, who are rural women, and who are called Hargila army, and who are the protector of the tree, voice of the tree. And now we have more than 10,000 women who are the place members of Hargila army, who is, I am very proud. And our rural women who never knew earlier that they have a role in society for conservation, now they are so proud to be Hargila army. They want to be Hargila army. Like if there are a few women who have not joined, they want to be Hargila army. So every day, at least 30 or 40 members join us as Hargila army, and this way we are spreading our effort more, more and more. And our work is an integration of science, protection, education, awareness, pride, and empowerment and tradition, which I have mentioned already. And yeah, we most of the time when we found that women didn't want to come to the meeting, they often rejected because they had to cook for their husband, for their children. So we came with a different education module. So we merged cooking festivals with our environment education modules. Here we are, for example, here we are playing Web of Life, an environment education game, and here we have at the same time we merge it with a cooking festival or cooking competition. And became the biggest hit. Our women liked it, and they started coming like anything, and we befriended. And yeah, and we started this mission together. And this is one of our very important event, which is called Hargila Baby Shower or Hargila Panchamrit in Assamese. And this is a baby shower. And I have a question. Have you ever visited or attended a baby shower of an animal or Hargila baby shower? And if not, please come to Assam to attend, to meet our Hargila army and join the Hargila Panchamrit event or Hargila baby shower. So here we, when the birds are in the breeding season, when they lay eggs, as I have told you that the people cut down the trees. I felt that they don't like lectures, they don't like lectures, they don't cut the trees and all. So rather than that, I it just came to the mind that why not coming with a different idea. So we just started doing Hargila baby shower, and we celebrated it exactly like the way we celebrated for the Assamese expecting mother. And this also became one of the very important event. Our women became so emotionally sensitized, and they became so participatory in this event. It was one of their closest event. Earlier they laughed at this event, but they became so participatory, and they every year we are waiting for the Hargila baby shower. And yeah, so this way we started again. This is also another very important event, how we merge like Hargila education into Gita Bhagavat procession. It is a Gita Bhagavat is our holy book, and so we merged this Hargila campaign into our holy book, where more than 8,000 people come to the street and celebrate. And we merged Hargila into the celebration of Gita Bhagavat, that is our holy book procession. And we have a program called Communities Teaching Communities, and our women are very proud to be a part of that. They are educators, and then they educate other group, and then the other group educate others, and this way actually we can reach more and more people. And this is one of the campaign which we continue throughout the breeding season, which is a pride campaign, and which is very effective tool. And we don't miss any opportunity. Here you can see this is a tableau in our Republic Day, our women participating in the in this tableau. We don't miss any opportunity to create awareness. And as Joe introduced about our my Whitley Award, I'm very thankful to Whitley Award, because after that the life of the communities, the life of the species, and the life of myself changed. And yeah, and I could we could establish a weaving center also for the women, and we could support more and more women, more and more communities, more people, more students. And yeah, our we became stronger and stronger. And yeah, you can see how, and I want to mention that this work is not only saving the bird, it is also empowering women and social changes in the villages also. And yeah, you can see how proud our women are, just they are weaving the storks in the stork motif in our traditional attire. And here you can see our women group, just they are weaving. This is our a part of from our weaving center. And so then we link them with market, so that they can sell our products. And so then we also got support from New Zealand High Commissioner in India, and we offered sewing machines to them. And I would like to mention that during lockdown time, during COVID, it was really very difficult everywhere, especially for the communities. And and then at that time we came up with this idea to produce face masks, and we produced more than 11,000 face masks to distribute among the communities. And with this support, our communities also earned a good amount of money and support for their family, which was really very helpful for them. And I'm very proud that, like, just during the pandemic time, we learned many lessons how to survive in hard time and all. And then those lessons taught us to be more and more productive. And I tried to support more and more women to produce more and more attires and all with new ideas and designs. And then now these all of these products are available online. And people can now people love to support our women through this website, which is called Pasu Pakshi, means birds and animals, which is dedicated for wildlife. And we also initiated lots of reward schemes for the school children, tree owners children, and all. And we work a lot with the schools, and we name them as champions or guardians of the store, who is really very who is encourage them a lot. And yeah, these are some classes converted into craft Hargila ka classes. and we also work with the rag pickers community in garbage dump, and we try to work as much as to work with them. And this picture I'm sharing because it is I'm very inspired by this picture, because every time when I go and meet these rag pickers children, I think they are the star, I think, because they teach me a lot, because how to be happy, they teach me how to be happy, how to be productive, with the limited resource. And yeah, so, and I'm very proud to mention that we are going to launch our Hargila Learning Center next month. It was this picture was from the when we started this, and we are going to now launch our Hargila Conservation and Education Center next month. And if anyone wants to join us, support us with ideas, with environment education plan, any ideas, artwork, you are mostly welcome. We would be very glad and honored for that. And I am also a part of Women in NASA Network, which is a global group. And through this group, I met many women, and who are really doing great work for the cause. And I'm very thankful to Win. And we are also working very closely with district administration and police. Kamrup Police is our partner, I think, who is one of the strongest part of our project. And as I have mentioned, that our work is a part of protection, pride campaign, empowerment. So this is a part of our, just rescue and rehabilitation part. So we rescue the birds. You can see on the right side, we put nets under the nesting tree, and then we rescue, and when we put the nets, the injury of the birds become less, and then we rescue them and then hand raise in the zoo, Assam State Zoo, with the support from Assam Forest Department, and then we release them in the wild. And then we are trying our best, but definitely we have to think of a very dedicated facility about this. And yeah, this picture I'm sharing because I'm very inspired by this picture also. In a very hard condition, we rescued this bird, and we spent lots of time, and doctors and all, we did devoted there lots of time. And finally this bird was released very successfully in the wild, and we found him after 2 years also, because we had a tag also, and we could found him. And yeah, and then yeah, we are also trying to find out, trying to analyze some cause of the dead birds and all, and results are not good. So in some birds we found many unusual materials. We are also studying the egg cells of the birds to study the heavy metals. And here I am very excited to share, because on the right side you can see that this is the first experimental platform in Hargila, which we did in 2017 after I got Whitley Award. And in 2017 I was not successful, but 2018 we were successful, because we found a hatchling there which flew away. Then and this year also we have hatchlings, and so far 5 baby birds flew away, in these 3 years. So isn't it exciting? So I'm very proud to share this with all of you. And on the other side you can see my bamboo platform. I have 3 bamboo platforms to study the breeding behavior of the bird. One of them is, you can see this bamboo platform with our limited resource, which is made by our villagers. I'm very thankful to them, and I'm still safe so far with their support. And I stay on the top of this bamboo platform. I stay there for sometimes long days, and then I study the breeding behavior of the bird, and I keep myself hiding with the camouflage and all. So, and finally, as I have mentioned, that my PhD got a backseat, but finally in 2018 I did my PhD also, thanks to God and all. And yeah, I'm very inspired by this experimental breeding platform, which I'm out of excitement I'm sharing. And yeah, it's the same kind of experiment we did in Assam State Zoo also, because I have a very good partnership with them. So we tried the same kind of experiment in the Assam State Zoo, and Assam State Zoo became the first zoo to breed them. The idea behind this is the experiment. We want to see, we want to see, is it is it successful, same in the zoo and same in the wild. And then yeah, finally results are rewarding. Tree owners developed ownership feeling, which is so important, and the village became the largest colony in the world. And since 2010, not a single tree cut down, and nest numbers increased by 8 folds. Means when we started our work in 2007, there were only 27 nests. Now we have more than 210 nests, which is more than 8 folds. And this colony became the largest breeding colony. And when we started when we started our work in entire Assam, we found only 400 birds. And now we have, when we counted before COVID, we could count, we could do a population count, but we had to stop again. There was there was another population survey and nest survey which we had to delay. But I'm mentioning about the pre-COVID result. We found more than 950 birds in Assam, and which I think we are hopeful. And but population is vulnerable. And trust me, everyone, working with people is the toughest challenge, but it's a joy also. It's a lesson learning also. So these are some achievements which I want to share with all of you. And yes, I want to mention that we women are unstoppable. We have to break the barriers, the stereotypes, and sky is the limit. Even we have to think beyond the sky, beyond the limit. And this picture, I'm very inspired when I see a tree. These tree are holding the birds, and they are so inspiring. And last month, I went to a different colony in Assam, and this tree was supposed to be cut down by a tree owner, but we made him not to cut the trees. We tried to convince him, and but we took some time from him. Please give us 5 months, we will do something, we will do something, please give us. And we tried to motivate him as much as we can. And I hope he will understand. We are going to meet him again next month. And I want everyone to protect our trees. They are our inspiration. They are holding these Hargilla birds and other species and habitats of many birds, and they themselves inspire us. So thank you so much, everyone, for all to it. I'm greatly thankful to all my donors, all my supporters, villagers, everyone. I to everyone for your kind support. Otherwise, we could not have been there. And thank you so much. And yeah, thank you so much, Joe, and everyone, Whitley Awards, Danny, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be here. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, Purnima, that was great. Thank you so much for sharing your story today. Uh, it is so inspirational. And to think it started so negatively with that experience you had, a really poor experience, and you turned it into just a powerful force to protect the stork. Amazing.
Thank you so much, Joe.
So, Praneem, I want to squeeze in a quick question here. There's a grade 8 student tuning in. His name is Ibrahim, and he is wondering if the stork conservation work you have been doing has led to other groups trying the same thing to conserve other species.
Oh yeah. So okay. I can read the question. Hargilla consumption led to studying and conserving. Yeah. Uh, I think from our work, as I have also mentioned that in 2017 I got Whitley Award, and suddenly this Hargilabad became center of attraction. In comparison to the other species like rhino and tigers. So I think after that, many people in Assam and India who actually from my personal communication I can realize that they are inspired, and they say that they are very inspired and they want to do more and more works. Every day I get so many calls from students, from not only from Assam or India, but from students or conservationists who want who wants to work more and more for other bird species. Yeah, and I myself, I have a huge network in Assam with the other conservationist group who are working on birds, who are studying on birds, and we inspire each others and we exchange ideas. Yeah, thank you so much, Joe.
Okay. Well, Purnima, thank you. I know it's getting later in the evening in India. Thank you for sharing your amazing story with us. And I, for one, am looking forward to continue following your work.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. Excellent. Well, Purnima, I'm going to let you get on with your evening. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to bring our next speaker in.
Okay, thank you so much, Joe. I thought that I would have more questions, so I was waiting. But if not, then thank you so much for your kind listening. I'm really very honored and thankful to everyone. Thank you. Bye
All
bye.
right. Thank you, Purnima.
Bye.